home, frozen when heaven extinguished the pyre. But one spark is enough to reignite a revolution. The Bone Shaker, our train, travels the rail connecting our two worlds. The last surviving remains of the pyre drives the heart of our engine. The gilded wing will stop at nothing to destroy it. But the champions of hell will defend what's ours. Because if we don't, there will be nothing left to defend.
And that's the premise of the game. That is what it is. Hey there, everybody. What's up? It's your boy Ren, and we're back with another episode of Xbox Game Pass and Review. Your first look at the latest and greatest on the Xbox Game Pass network. Give me a moment as we decide to, turn down all of this. Golly. Thank you. Yeah, anyways, welcome in, everybody. Today we are going to be playing Monster Train, which is another card battler roguelike, with a little bit of a twist. So I have played this one before. I've played a lot of this. It's been a while since I've played it, though, so I'm not quite sure if it's changed at all. But you know what? We're gonna give it a go. It's on the Game Pass now, so go check it out. Actually, recently new on the Game Pass too. At the beginning of March, it dropped. So there's always that. So go check it out for yourself. We're gonna give it a go here and do our normal thing. As you can see, I have played it before, so we're going to do a new run. Are you sure you want to erase the existing run to start a new one? Yes. I think that's exactly what I want. So loud in my ear. So the primary clan, either the Hellhorned, rallied the aggressive demons of the Scorched Plains, overwhelmed the Seraph, Hornbreaker Prince. Or do I want... Restore 1 health, apply 1 regen, the Sentient. Alright, we'll do... We'll do that. I kind of like the idea of the restore that just helps me out later on down the line. So you know, it is what it is. Alright, Ring 3, Talos, the Architect. So you have different bosses at different stages. Empowering offense, enemy units enter with Rage 2. Talos attacks every turn and gains armor on Slay. Rage times +2 attack per stack, decreases every turn. Armor, yada. Sins of Darkness. Arceus will summon Blinding Dark Shard and Looming Dark Shard. Blinding Dark Shard phased. Apply daze to one of your units resolved to spawn. And then Looming Dark Shard phased and can't apply 1 bleed to spells. I think that's what that is. And Seraph the Patient. Seraph attacks every turn, applies melee weakness to your front unit, gains attack on rally and incant. Melee time. The next time the unit is attacked, it takes that much damage again from each stack of melee weakness. Triggers when you play a non-morsel unit card on this floor. Triggers when you play a spell on this floor. Okay. So we kind of know what we're dealing with. We can either get an artifact or we can upgrade our champion. I think upgrading the champion actually comes first. So, rejuvenate, deal 20 damage to triggers when it's healed, which actually isn't terrible, but having spikes instead probably would be a better option here. So let's do that. Oh, we can gain both. Nice. When you draw a non-champion card, its cost is randomized between 1 and 3 Ember. Oh, that's the energy stuff. Draw 3 each turn. 50% chance to apply Daze when an enemy unit enters your train. I like that. And battle forward. The Gathered Clergy. Okay. Chains the Sighted, adds a weight of contrition to the top of the card. All these runes continue until all enemies are defeated. This rune can triggers. Okay. That's fine. Additional, draft a primary or allied card. You know what? We'll have you enter with 10 armor. That's fine. I kind of want a new card. Enemy units now enter with 10 armor. That's fine. I want you here. You here. And they're each going to attack for 5. So having regen would be nice. Oh no, they did not attack. But luckily for me that their stuff does not continue on. We'll gain regen. See, I might have messed up just a little bit by doing what I did. Whoopsies. Yeah, can you tell I haven't played this game in a little while here? Okay, so he takes up 2 space. Okay, now I'm starting to remember the game now. Starting to remember the rules to this game. Ew, whoopsie. Really? Reserve. Triggers this card remains in the hand at the end of turn. Your pyre takes 3 damage. Okay. Resolved. And you're out. It certainly took a little bit, but glad it's done. Clan pack, apply 4 attack and spikes 4. Deal damage to the front enemy unit, draw 1 card next turn. Move that unit to the front. I think I like that. Allied clan pack, summon, deal 5 damage to enemy units. Apply rage 5 to friendly units, or apply 20 to the friendly front unit. I think I like the welder. And then I get a unit to draft. Multi-strike is kind of cool. Cost 3 lead per imp unit in play. Consumer of crowns. So if I have 3, he's a 1. So that might be a good thing to do, because he's 100, so he just kind of like smacks people, right? But that I have to get him at really the right time, so instead I'd rather get that. Now I decide, forge the unit to gain new powers, or gain an awoken unit, or I can forge my spells into new powers and gain a hell unit. I'd rather do units. So Merchant of Steel. Let's go upgrade a unit with 1 capacity, 1540, with Rage 7, decreases every turn. Upgrade a unit with, oh, you know what, let's do Battlestone. And let's give that to the Husk Hermit. And then, you know, we also have a Rage 7. So it'd be plus 14 for whenever it comes in. And then minus 1 from there. So let's do one of these train stewards. Alright, and then let's get an Awoken. Gain 60 max health, rejuvenate, cultivate 2 increases attack and of the friendly unit with the lowest health by the cultivate value. Triggers when healed, even at full health. Okay. So let's do that. Let's do the Awoken Hollow. And we'll move on here. I can gain 75 coins at the start of battle. Enemy units appear on each floor. No. That is not something I'd like to do. We're gonna put the Sentient app at the top this time. Let's do... And they're both out, cool. Can I switch you out? I can't. Okay, that's fine. We'll end turn. And the final wave is here already. Him, do some damage to him, and that's really all we got. Nice, beautiful. 3-turn boss rush, got it. Beautiful, beautiful way of getting about it. Restore 10 health to a friendly unit, deal damage to the front unit enemy equal to 5 times the health amount healed, yes. And then let's go ahead and get... let's get another imp here. And just kind of deal with it. Alright, what do we got? Gain an artifact, restore 20 pyre, or forge new powers. Rage 7, upgrade a unit with 25 health. With Endless, when these dies was eaten, return it to the top of the card pile. I like that idea, actually. He just constantly kind of comes back. Then let's also give this guy a boost. Can I do another Rage 7 on this dude? Rage 14. Heck yeah. That would actually be great. Multi-strike Rage 4, apply 3 rage to friendly units. Branded would go well. And then what's in the cave? A penance yard comes into view, a truly terrible sight. Dead Hellborn from across the 9 rings of hell are strung up as atonement just for existing. At the base of these awful contraptions, there's familiar blights, but peeking through, you can see something of value under the rubble. Which tile do you inspect further? The one with the ember gained ember stasis, gained 3 calcified ember. Playing a blight card deals 120 damage to the front enemy unit. Okay. Once this card is removed from your deck, the rest of the run. Gain Penitent Remainings. When summoned, friendly units get +2 attack for every blight card in your deck. Unplayable, unpurgeable. When you play a blight card, restore 5 pyre health. Your pyre takes 1 damage whenever you reserve it. I actually think the one with the embers looks fine. You inspect the look of the ember, but are disappointed to find it's been hardened into something else. Luckily, some of its regenerative powers over time, though it's very different. Okay, well, that's fair enough. And then we reach our first boss for this run. We have Talos the Architect. Enemies enter Rage 2. Enter with Rage 2. Talos attacks every turn and gains armor on Slay. So, spikes at the top here. Gain sweep. And we'll apply rage over here. Yeah, just die. Nice. What? Okay, it did activate, I'm just dumb. Rejuvenate. I only have one more. Can I get another rejuvenate? That'd be kind of cool. Get that off, and then end the turn there. Which is 41 out of 65, so let's do that. Can I just grab you? Yeah, thanks. Man, we are taking way too much damage here. train steward we'll send here. As far as you go, just get lost. Final wave, huh? So then I guess it's time to do this. 120 taken out. I like it. Can't move the boss, but that's fine. Nice. That was beautiful. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Reinforce consume. Once per battle, double the amount of armor on unit, and consume apply 2 times the rage of what we paid, and 2 times what we paid for the armor. Don't care. Apply 10 health and spikes. Revenge gain 1. Oh, okay, so every time it's hit, it's damaged, I get an additional move I can essentially play. Thorned Hollow gain spikes 3. Please and thank you. +1 ember per turn. Your pirate gets +10 attack and 30 health. 1 draw or 1 capacity on each floor. I think 1 capacity on each floor is actually good play. Select and remove up to 2 cards from your deck. Duplicate any card except for your champion. Restore 20 pyre health. Forge the spells to gain new power, forgotten boons, and then an awoken unit. Let's go ahead and do that. Upgrade the spend with 10 magical. Gains double stack and costs 1. Upgrade a spell to cast with 10 magic power. Yes, please. And then, can I go ahead and make it a ooh. So do I make that a 0 cost? Or do I make that a 2 cost? I think I make this one a 2 cost. I think that's the better play here. Forgotten boons, which means I could still go back here if I really wanted. I only have 135 though. I don't really care about that. What do we got here? Multi-strike 2. Tax an additional time for each churn. So 3 times 3 times 2 would be kind of cool. And then we also have a rejuvenate guy as well. You know what? I like big tanky dudes. And then upgrade your champion. Deal 20 damage to front enemy when rejuvenated, or spikes 20. The attacker takes 1 damage per stack. You know what? I think this one actually works better. Because while she will be taking damage, she has the ability to, like, knock some dudes out pretty quickly. We can get a random artifact. Non-boss enemy units get multi-strike. I actually don't think that's a bad idea. We'll play your game. You know what? We'll really play your game today. Summoned. Let's get the train steward on the next floor. Go ahead and deal some damage to you. And then pull you to the front because it can. Yeah, uh-oh is right, lady. You're about to get hurt. Okay. Escaped. Actually kind of unfortunate. But you know what? It is what it is. I like having the big bulky guys around. Big bulky guys make for really good defenders. They do get resolve, however, which I'm finding to be slightly problematic at the moment. Can I apply 20 armor here? Go and apply some damage. And then rejuvenate. I kind of regret letting them have double. Okay, let it go. So my core is taking a little bit of damage, which is actually highly unfortunate. However, not the end of the world. It is also going to be really unfortunate. They got the champion, but that's okay because they don't make it past the first level. Ooh, what did I get? Precious plating, huh? Your pyre gains 40. Yes. Add 3 sting spells to the front enemy. Draw 1 the next turn. Okay. Restore 25 health. Draw 2 cards next turn. Let's get the sting. I do like the idea of piercing. Piercing does help out. So we got Forgotten Boons, Heal, Merchant, Unstable Vortex, and Concealed Cavern. Let's go to this side. We'll get the money, the health, which is always necessary. Then what do we got here? We have an Endless card, which is cool. I want the Thorned Hollow to be endless. And then let's give him an additional 10. And give my other guy here some extra health. And you know what? I can actually probably... I can re-roll and get something else here. 2 20s make nice. Another one. gonna give one to the train steward to make him a little bit better. And then we'll go to the next one. Sycophants of Seraphs. Non-boss enemy units start with Spike 4. Extinguish. Their units gain +2 attack. The Clipped Guardians. Not a target in combat, decreases every turn. 350. With Spike 4, I don't know if I really want to play with that. But I'd get another artifact. No, I'd rather have a more sound strategy than that. And I think it's better to have my Guardian up at the top here, just in case. Like, I get it, it helps out her on the bottom, but there's tons of other guys that I could have on the bottom here, you know? Okay. Gonna take 11 damage. Okay. Get 2 of those in there just to see what happens. Get our bad boy back here. Some spells can be played once per battle. It's fine. Nice. And we got ourselves a brief respite here. Ah, that is not the one I wanted. Well, shoot, that didn't go well. Final wave, huh? He's got stealth 8. That is not a cool thing for me. So we're gonna go ahead and purge. Get him out of the way and just let things happen the way they are meant to. You know what? That's fine, lady. Frankly, not gonna hurt my feelings. Okay, now you're gonna start to hurt my feelings here pretty soon. go ahead and deal 100 damage to her. Nice. Okay. Woo! That was close. That was very close. Restore 1 health, gain 1 ember, draw 1 next turn. Restore 25 health, draw 2 next turn, draw 1 each turn. The Wildwood Custodian. Engraft. I think that's fine. Summon, apply Rage 4 and Armor 5. Dig that. Gain an artifact, boon, and magic, or concealed cavern, trinket, and health. Oh, it's a merchant trinket, so we can kind of random selection of artifacts. I would rather go over here, honestly. So we'll get our own artifact. Friendly units enter with armor 5. At the start of turn, add a Vinegrass spell with Purge to your hand. Let's do Scorching Steel. Forgotten Boon, and then our magic. Okay, so we can do double sack here. Apply 10, spark 6, or double stack to deal 5 damage and armor 40. Let's do Inflame. Then we'll go ahead and take it back down to a 2 cost. And then giving 22 with a regen. We'll re-roll for some interesting stuff here. I got a -1 on cost for something here. Let's do it for Cycle of Life. Make it nice and cheap. And then adding 20 power to this restore. I think that's good enough. And now we got another boss fight. Dark Incarnate will summon Blinding Dark Shard and Looming Dark Shard. Cannon attack cannot be damaged or targeted. Apply 1 daze to your unit. Okay. Frankly, I think he's best served down there. That triggers when you play a spell on this floor. Apply 1 to spells to your hand. Okay. Let's go with I don't want to play a spell up there right now. You know what? Let's add the Hollow in. In turn, that's resolved. He attacks. He's applying the Dazed. Wait, why does he have Incant on? I guess it doesn't matter. Let's do sweep. And then I want him on this top floor. So no spells can be played on here for right now, but that's fine. I don't need to play any spells. Go ahead and do that. This rally, when you play a non-morsel unit card on this, apply daze to your units, but I'm not really playing anything to those, so that's fine. What is this guy doing? Harvest, when a unit on this floor dies, gain 10 armor. Dazed, okay. Let's give him some rage here. Rejuvenate. And we'll go from there. So no spells on this floor now, which is fine, because I kind of wanted to do that. Which is nice. Then I want to restore you. Okay. Their dazed is up. So it doesn't want me to play anything there, which is fine. But now I can do some restore. Cultivate, increase the friendly with the lowest by the cultivate amount. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and make him done by 2. Get out of here. Alright, here comes the final wave. He's got 600 health. So there's really only one thing I can do here. Took out a lot of his health, though. That was for sure. I don't think we made it. As much as I would love to say that we did. Actually, I don't know. We very well could have. With that rage, I think we did. Ah, beautiful. Ooh, okay then. So we got our money. Double the amount of armor in a unit. Apply quick. Attacks before enemy units this combat. Sure. Why not? And then let's give ourselves an extra little for turn. Pyre, duplicate card, Forgotten Bones, Merchant of Steel. Let's go here. You know what? Let's remove 2 of these train stewards, just to kind of cut down what we're doing real fast. I know. Give me a second. Where's the artifact? When you summon the second unit during a turn, gain 3. Yep. When you play a spell, spells in your hand that cost less are reduced to 0 this turn. Ooh. I think I like that. Okay. Let's look at a Fury Stone here. Honestly, Rage 11 is kind of a cool idea. So is this guy, though. Well... No, I like the idea of you because you can use it more. Yeah, there's nothing to really use that for. Okay, upgrade our champion again. Revenge triggers when damaged. Yeah. Cultivate 1, and then draw each turn, or spikes 40. Yeah, spikes 40. That's beautiful. That is just beautiful. Ancient Haste. Enemy units enter with Spell Shield 2. Absorbs the next damage spell. We don't really use damage spells, so that's fine. So that triggers when a unit on this floor dies. Harvest on death. When attacking, excess damage is applied to the subsequent enemy unit. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care about your spell shield, Mr. Guy. Your spell shield ain't gonna help you none in this here battle, sir. Summoned, and now we get some more stuff to do. And that's it. We really don't have much else to play. Don't me, you little shit. Nice. I don't have anybody on the top here. Whoopsies. And they're gonna do a little bit of damage up there, but it's nothing that my Hearthstone couldn't handle. I just can't let that happen all of the time. Spell shield, yeah. Okay, so they got dazed. A brief respite, huh? Yep, I think unfortunately that's gonna be it for me. 800. Dang, okay. He's still got 500 freaking health left. I just want that to be made aware. I can't summon to him. Not enough capacity. Not enough capacity. What do you mean there's not enough capacity? So I guess once once he starts climbing, they won't let you come up again. Yep, that's all she wrote, folks. That's gonna be the end of our run here. There's no way I'm surviving this. Nope. Whatever. Nice, so we got another level for the Awoken. Apply 2 Regen 2 and Spike 2, add a copy of this card to your discard pile, hell yeah. Friendly units get +1 per stack of spikes. That would be beautiful for my champion. Oh my gosh. Hellhorned, level up, move a unit to the front and apply 10 armor. Summon abilities trigger an additional time. Nice. So we need more spells played, more units summoned, and more more enemies killed, and that will allow me to get my clans progressed. Oh man. Personal new record quick applied 1, previous best 0. New personal record rage applied 51, previous best 0. We did get a large amount of, stuff. So I think we did pretty well. Trial bonus plus 50%. I mean, it did pretty good. Did pretty good. Alright, back to the main menu. Challenges, Hell Rush, each other player's timed multiplayer runs, earn the highest score to win, discover new challenges, don't really care, logbook. Okay, so those are generic ones, not yet discovered. Concealed cavern artifacts. Play 3 daily challenges in a row. Okay. Dark Forge upgrades for him. Oh, okay, I see. It's a matter of. Okay, so you have explosive, rejuvenated, deal 20 damage in front enemies. And then we had the bristling. Oh yeah. And then any kind of combination in between thereof. But the third rank of the bristling is just real good. Real good. Slay gain 10 armor, revenge gain 2, multi-strike, armor, and multi-strike. Oh no, multi-strike already accounts for the number of times you hit. Okay, shoot. Anywho's, so, Monster Train, right? It's really cool because you kind of have to figure out where you want each of the guys on each of those levels for what they are, while still upgrading the cards. And I feel having a much shorter time in between your runs for bosses. You get 3 battles, right? You get 3 battles before a boss. 3 battles after that, you got another boss. 3 battles after that, you got another boss. And you go from there. So and then you're at the final boss. Like I was at that third boss that I needed to have, and then I would have been where I needed to be. But yeah, that last dude just got to kick my boot hard. But all in all, it's a great roguelike game. I mean, it feels really good. The strategy is there. I'm still kind of early in this little Monster Train stuff. Remember that my progress that you saw there was simply based off of I think like a year or 2 ago was the last time I played this. That's because it was on Game Pass earlier a little while too. Actually, you know what? It might have been even earlier than that. Might have been 3 or 4 years since I last played Monster Train. I don't know. But yeah, it's a fairly decent game. So let's get to Ren's review, right? Casual gamers, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. Hardcore gamers, 6 out of 10. It's a very interesting game, don't get me wrong, but it is a roguelike. And it's a little bit different than a lot of the other ones. I think with the enhanced pacing of it and just the sheer amount of health some of these enemies have and how to complete each of the missions, each of the battles. Um, it might not be every roguelike player's cup of tea. Casual gamers, this is really cool and interesting, but I think you're going to find the level system of, putting the different characters on the different levels of the train a little annoying, and trying to fix those combos is going to be really frustrating for you at the beginning there. Hardcore players, I think that you might find that an interesting take, but there's not an in-depth, deck building that you can really go for. It isn't like Slay the Spire where you kind of know what you want and you go for each of those builds. You kind of evolve your creatures along the way, and even then you can only upgrade a few of them. So what you do have, you have to synergize very, very well, or else you won't succeed. Same thing with the different clans that are in there. You have to pair those guys really, really well together, or you're not going to win. And that's just what it is. But I mean, all in all, it's not a terrible game. But other roguelikes definitely beat it out in a lot of other, aspects. So if you're looking for a roguelike, Monster Train is one of those. But if you put Monster Train next to Slay the Spire, you're probably going to choose Slay the Spire instead. Slay the Spire is a little bit more hardcore. Monster Train is a little bit more casual. At the same time, though, if you're going to be playing a roguelike anything, why don't you just go play Balatro? Because Balatro is amazing. Hey, have you watched Balatro? If you watched the Ren Plays Balatro episodes, you should go watch the Ren Play Balatro's episodes. Now I want to go play Balatro right now, and I keep saying Balatro because Balatro is fun to say. But this is a Monster Train video, so let's get back to Monster Train. It's good. I mean, pick it up. It's interesting at the end of the day. It doesn't really compete with a lot of the other roguelikes out there, but it is very interesting and different than some of those that are out there. So give it a shot. But that is going to go ahead and do it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this type of content, make sure to head over to the YouTube page. That is youtube.com/RensWorld, where you can find all the other fun and exciting Game Pass and review content that we have over there. We have the field inspections like we did today, hour-long first looks at the games that are on the Game Pass, taking a look at the story, graphics, and gameplay to help you decide if it's something you'd like to play for yourself. The bottom line up front episodes are up there. 10-minute condensed reviews about the good, the bad, and the ugly of my personal opinion on some of the games we spent a little bit more time in playing here on the Game Pass. And then we also have the Ren's Play series, the hour-long episodes, 10 to 20 episodes per each of those series that we play, where we deep dive into some of the Game Pass games that really got us hooked in, and kind of just play and have fun. And usually play until either we complete the game, we get annoyed with it, or bored. Any of those three options usually come pretty standard after a while. But yeah, 10 to 20 episodes for a series isn't terrible, especially at an hour. Like, that's not bad. It would be like 40 episodes if it was like 30-minute episodes, but instead you get hour-long episodes. So, I mean, they're a little bit harder to digest, but you get the idea. I think that they're fun and entertaining, but I'm also really biased. I like to put them on whenever I'm doing, dishes or, chores or whatever else I'm doing, cooking, to just kind of listen to in the background and focus in on what I'm doing. I enjoy that type of content, so I like giving you the type of content that I enjoy, and here it is, and enjoy yourself and come hang out with me and, have fun playing video games. Because having fun with video games is what it's all about. Don't let anybody tell you differently. You can also come check us out. Soapbox Durability is up for the day. A very short Soapbox Durability, but one nonetheless. You can also come check us out over here at the live stream. That is twitch.tv/RenoxRage. That spelling will be on the right side of your screen for all of you people over in the wonderful land of YouTubes. For those of you in the chat already, well, hey, congratulations. You don't have to worry about the angels freezing over your train and killing the last of your species to find good and interesting content, because you are already right here. And I appreciate you for that. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. I do greatly appreciate it. My name is Ren, and we will catch you on the next one. Laters!